Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at a very cool feature of this. This is my Anbernic RG35XXH, a wonderful handheld portable emulation device that can run lots of different systems, and it is a great device, but the one thing that I really like about it is that you can hook it up to a TV. It's got a HDMI port, or a mini HDMI port on the top, and then you can play all of your systems and games on a big TV. So this video I'm going to take a look at various different systems on a large TV. So first of all, we're going to be taking a look at Game Boy. Now this is Tetris, played on a 32-inch screen, and it looks absolutely superb. Playing Game Boy games on a TV has always been a bit of a childhood dream of mine. You could do it with the Super Nintendo and the Super Game Boy adapter, but I never had one of those. This looks absolutely amazing. It is just fantastic. The same again with the Game Boy Color. Similar hardware to the Game Boy. Obviously this is color. We're looking here at Zelda Link's Awakening DX, and bearing in mind that these games, the same with the Game Boy games, they were supposed to be played on a it's like an unlit 2-inch screen, and then you bring it forward and put them on a lit screen, and then you bring it forward even again and put it on a 32-inch screen or whatever size TV you've got, and these games absolutely look amazing. Like I say, this is an 8-bit game designed to be played on a small screen, but whacking it up onto a big TV, it really just adds so much more to the game itself. And the next system we're looking at here is a Wonder Swan. So this is Final Lap 2000 for the Wonder Swan. A very niche Japanese sort of handheld that was really tried to compete with the Game Boy, but it had moderate success. So this is some footage of Final Lap 2000. Another, now correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but I'm sure it was an 8-bit console. And this is some gameplay from it on a big TV. Something I don't think many people have done other than with an emulation device. And the next console we've got here is a Neo Geo Pocket Color, and I'm playing a bit of Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure, a kind of Neo Geo Pocket port of Sonic, with some sort of Neo twists to it. So Neo South Island is one of the levels. So it probably isn't that much different to the Master System or the Mega Drive version. The Neo Geo Pocket was a handheld 16-bit console, and playing that on a large screen TV just looks absolutely amazing. And next up is the Game Boy Advance, and I am playing Mario Kart Super Circuit. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Game Boy Advance. I mean, it had some good titles. To me, it was more of just like a portable Super Nintendo, but it is great to see Game Boy Advance games played on a big screen. And then we have the Nintendo DS. Now, this is a very odd console to emulate. Obviously, it's supposed to have 2 screens. One of those is supposed to be a touch screen, and the Anbernic handles it very well. You can swap screens. You can have the bottom screen displayed. You have a sort of virtual on-screen stylus, and it's good. I mean, not many games relied too heavily on the stylus, so you can pretty much play any DS game. One thing I did notice about this is that all the other consoles on this Anbernic, the sound would come through the TV, except with the DS. Even hooked up via HDMI, the DS games were, well, the sound came out of the console itself. Not entirely sure why, but games play absolutely fantastic, and it is great to see those on a big screen. And then we move into PSP. Now, PSP is a fantastic console. If you're playing them directly on the Anbernic itself, because of the screen ratio, they do get a bit stretched or squashed. But when you hook it up to a TV, you get to play this sort of fantastic PS2 style handheld on a big screen. The graphics look absolutely amazing. I had the odd little sort of stutter there. But other than that, absolutely amazing to be able to play PSP games on a big screen. The Anbernic handles pretty much most PSP games. I've not come across anything that it doesn't, but a few people have. And then we move into home consoles. So this is a Sega Mega Drive, and I am playing The Revenge of Shinobi, and it is great to be able to play older, retro if you like to call them, home consoles on a big screen. Hooking a regular older console, 16-bit, 32-bit console, up to a modern TV can be a bit tricky, but this handles it fantastically. It is a great way to play older games. And now we take a look at Super Nintendo with one of my favourite games on the platform. This is F-Zero, a superb futuristic racing game that I've spent many hours playing, and it is nice to be able to just play it on a big TV without too much fuss. Obviously it's 16-bit, and emulation is absolutely spot on. And then we move into PlayStation 1, and we've got a bit of Gran Turismo gameplay here, and it is great to see that the Anbernic can handle PlayStation 1. So we moved into the 32-bit gaming, more of a sort of 3D era of gaming, and the Anbernic handles that absolutely fantastically. As you can see from the footage, there's no slowdown. Emulation is absolutely bang on, and you've got all of the controls you need on the Anbernic, all of the extra shoulder buttons and the trigger buttons to make PlayStation gaming absolutely superb. I was extremely surprised just how well PS1 games can play, and it's great that you can then, well, play them back on a big screen with your emulation device. And now we take a look at Sega Dreamcast, the system that I was most interested in emulating, and it's great. It plays them absolutely fantastically. For some reason on the Anbernic, when you hook it to a TV, you seem to have lost that 3D look, that slick look that you got on a Dreamcast. The graphics just don't seem to... it seems almost like software rendered, but gameplay wise it's fantastic and a great way to play Sega Dreamcast games. And the final system that I'm looking at for this video is the Atari 2600. I'm playing a bit of Dig Dug. Absolutely love the Atari, and this is one of my favourite games on the system. You know that there's not going to be any emulation issues, so this plays absolutely fantastic, and it's great to be able to play an Atari sort of hassle-free. And so there you go, that is a quick look at some of the systems you can play on an Anbernic, and I'm playing them on a big TV, and it is a great way to play these games. I seem to have overlooked the N64, which you can also play, and it looks fantastic when you put it onto the big screen. So if you've got an emulation device, not just the Anbernic, a lot of them have HDMI out. You basically then just use this as a large controller attached via HDMI. Very easy to set up. It's pretty plug and play. Well, it was on this one. Just plug the two ends of the cables in, and it just picked it up on my TV. So I'm very impressed. Like I say, it's a great way of playing, well, especially portable games, consoles, because you never really got the chance to play those on a big screen. If you're interested in capturing footage, you could do that via the HDMI out. So that's a great advantage of it. So there you go. That is just well, a few different consoles played on an Anbernic, via HDMI hooked up to a large TV. I'm very impressed with it, and let me know what you think. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.